Okay, so this is evaluate and simplify algebraic expressions. Okay, so first we need to define some things, and the first one is power, and that's simply a number being multiplied by itself a set number of times. Okay, and the best way to look at this is with an example. So 5 to the third power, the whole thing is the power. Okay, and we can break it up into two pieces. If we think of the large number, the big number is our base. Okay, and the small number is our exponent. Okay, and all we do is we multiply it out the number of times that the exponent is. So we have 5 to the third, so we have 3 5s. And all we have to do is multiply it out. 5 times 5 is 25. 25 times 5 is 125. Okay, so this should be all review. But let's go ahead and give some examples here. So problems are going to ask you to evaluate the power. All you have to do is figure out what we get. So 4 squared, again, that's telling you 4 times 4, or 4 times 4 2 times. And we get 16. Okay. Example 2, we have negative 5 to the third. And actually, if you can, I want you to stop the tape and try this on your own and see what you get. Okay, so go ahead and stop, and I called it a tape again. It's a video, but whatever. So negative 5 to the third power. Give it a shot. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish this. This is actually what this is saying is 5 times 5 times 5 with a negative out in front. Okay. So 5 times 5 we said is 25. 25 times 5 is 125. But that negative makes it negative 125. Okay? That is different from example 3. So example 3, now we have parentheses. And the parentheses are telling us that now the exponent is to this number with the negative. So here's where we get negative 5 times negative 5, okay? And in this case, we're going to get a positive. So we get positive 25. Okay, so moving on. We have numerical expression. Okay, so numerical expression is another definition. We need to know what that is. It's a number of terms separated by the operations and grouping symbols. So here's my example. And I've kind of put some other definitions here. Each one of these, since they're separated by an operation, is a term. So we have a term here, and a term here. Okay. Coefficient is basically the number that's in front of your variable. Okay, so here we have the coefficient, the 3, as well as the 2. Okay, our 5 is not a coefficient because there is no variable behind it. We call this, when it's just a number, we call that a constant term. Okay? So the problems are going to look like this. They're going to ask you to simply simplify the expression. And all we're going to do here is we're going to combine our like terms. And you've definitely done this before, but let's go ahead and give this a shot. So I'm going to look, and I'm going to see everywhere where I have my x's to the same power, because these are like terms. And I'm going to combine those. And the way I combine them is I add or subtract my coefficients. Okay? And again, coefficients are the numbers in front of the variable. So 5 minus 2, I get 3x squared. And then here I have two terms that are like. We have negative 3x and positive 2x. So I'm going to combine those, and I get negative x. Okay? We could write negative 1x, but whenever we see this in math, the 1 is always implied. We don't actually write the 1. Okay, so I'm going to leave it as negative 1. And this positive 10, there's nothing to add it to, so we just go ahead and bring it down. Okay, so our answer should be 3x squared minus x plus 10. And all the problems are going to look like that in the homework. So that is it. We are done. This has been Evaluate and Simplify Expressions.